Hi there, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Cheryl Miller, and today I'm showcasing a birthday project with the Creating Kindness Design Team blog and video hop. I've used one of the current Celebration Level 1 stamp sets, Hello Cupcake, although my cupcake has morphed into a triple-decker ice cream cup. Yum! This fantastic little stamp set can be earned for free with a $90 purchase in Australia from either of the current Stampin' Up! Catalogues. I'm also using the fabulous rectangle stitch framelits dies from the Occasions catalogue. I'm finding these dies very versatile. Now here is the Celebration catalogue, and the Hello Cupcake set is on page 6. As I said, this is a free item. It's available with a $90 purchase in Australia. And here is the Occasions catalogue. The Stitch Rectangles dies are on page 28. Now, they do come bundled at 10% discount with the Amazing Life stamp set. And if you purchase this bundle for $85.50 Australian and maybe add an adhesive or something small to your order to make it up to $90, you'll qualify for your choice of amazing free product from that small Celebration catalogue. The first step in this project is to score and fold the C6 card base in half and crease with the bone folder. I've used Grapefruit Grove cardstock. Next up, take a layer of Balmy Blue cardstock and stamp the sprinkles from the Hello Cupcake stamp set, that's this little one down here, in Balmy Blue ink all around the outside of the card. Now, this is a photopolymer set, so you'll need to use either your Stampin' PS mat or your silicone craft mat to give yourself a little bit of cushioning as you stamp. I'm just working all the way around the outside, twisting the stamp as I go. We're going to have another layer that will cover the center of the card, so you don't need to do all the way into the center. Okay, so now we can layer that piece onto the Grapefruit Grove folded card front. I'm using multi-purpose liquid adhesive. You can use snail if you want to. And next up, take a piece of So Saffron card and die cut one of the stitched rectangles from that piece. This rectangle measures 7.6 centimeters by 11 centimeters, or 3 inches by 4 3/8 inches. Set that aside and pull out 3 small scraps of shimmery white cardstock. We're going to stamp our ice creams onto these. So because we're going to emboss, if you rub over the pieces with the embossing buddy, then stamp the cupcake image in Versamark ink and sprinkle with white embossing powder. Once you've tapped off the excess, you'll be able to heat with a heat tool until the powder is melted. And then repeat that step for all 3 scraps of shimmery white card until you have 3 little embossed ice cream swirls. Next up, we're going to use sponge daubers and apply some colour to those ice cream or some flavouring. First one is Grapefruit Grove ink, which I suppose could be an orange flavour. Next up is Balmy Blue, and this must be bubblegum flavoured ice cream. I suppose it could be blueberry maybe. And then the third one is So Saffron ink, and I'm going to call this one Pineapple. The next step for me today is to take my paper snips and to trim out each of these little ice cream images. But the good news is that in March there will be some Thinlits dies available that coordinate with this stamp set. These are the Call Me Cupcake Thinlits dies, and they'll cut out the little swirl of icing, the patty pan, the little bit of cake that goes in the middle. There is a cake stand, a little cloche type dome that goes over the top of the cake, and other various cakey accessories. So that is going to be a limited edition offering in March only. So if you have this set, don't despair, you won't be having to fussy cut it forever. Now we can go ahead and stamp the ice cream cup slash patty cake pan That's what we call them in Australia anyway, the patty cake pan. I'm stamping that in Grapefruit Grove onto another scrap of shimmery white card. And you'll also need to stamp that little bit of cake with Sahara sand ink onto a scrap of Sahara sand card. So I'm just going to stamp that quite close to the left-hand edge, and we'll quickly trim out the ice cream cup. This will be so much easier with the new Thinlits dies, although this is a very easy image to cut out. Now that's going to be adhered to that little piece of cake that we stamped in Sahara sand, and you can see that I'm going to need to trim off the edges so that they don't show from behind the little cup. Just one little strip of multi-purpose liquid glue, and that will glue straight down. That little cake piece has a sort of a serrated bottom edge that the little patty pan fits exactly into. So we'll glue it onto there, and then glue on one of the ice cream swirls over the top. Now I wasn't thinking very well when I put this together. This is ice cream, or supposed to be ice cream, so really there wouldn't be cake underneath this first layer of ice cream. So I'm going to say that it's chocolate ice cream in the bottom of the cup. Does that sound fair? Moving on, we'll now stamp the greeting onto the bottom of the So Saffron stitched rectangle. I'm using the Celebrate Your Day greeting from the Hello Cupcake stamp set, and I'm going to use Balmy Blue ink to stamp onto the So Saffron. Now, this is going to create green, and it is a little bit green, so I will stamp the Balmy Blue down again, and the Stamparatus allows you to do that, and you can see that's stamped perfectly. This So Saffron rectangle will go in the middle of the card front, and then the stacked ice cream cup will sit on the front like this. Now there needs to be something in between the greeting and the actual cupcake, so I'm going to use some silver metallic thread and just wrap it around the card right above the greeting. I'll attach it to the back with a little bit of tear and tape, and that's going to hold it in place as I just go round and round quite a few times, and then that will stick, the last little bit will stick to the back. Okay, so that can be adhered onto the card front now with a little bit of the multi-purpose liquid glue. So it will be flat to the card front, and then the ice cream cup will stack on top of that. Now it's going to go a little bit over the top of the So Saffron rectangle. So we'll glue all that together first, because I'm going to layer this little ice cream stack up with dimensionals. So we'll glue it together first with some multi-purpose liquid glue, and rather than glue them just straight up and down on top of one another, I'm sort of putting them on a little bit of a jaunty angle, and then once they're glued together, I'll pop some dimensionals on the back, remove the backing sheets, and then that can be popped up onto the card front, and I'll just sit it on top of the metallic silver thread. And I just thought it needed something else, so I pulled out the basic adhesive sequins, and I'm going to add just a sprinkling of those over the ice cream and also down and around the greeting, which just gives this project a lovely little bit of bling. I hope you've enjoyed this little video today. Don't forget to hop around and check out all of the design team's videos for our birthday theme this month. I'll see you next time. Bye.